Hey, this is Coach Shannon, and today we're going to learn about CARs. That's controlled articular rotations. So there's 3 rules to CARs. Number 1 is we never go through pain. So if you are doing a neck CAR and you get to here and ooh, this feels really pinchy and uncomfortable back here, you want to go a little shallower. So instead of feeling that pinch, you come back up, figure out where you can go for your range of motion so that you're not feeling that pinch. It's okay to feel a stretch, but not the pinch. Number 2, we only move one joint at a time. So if I'm moving my shoulder, I'm not also moving my rib cage, okay? One joint at a time. Number 3, we create internal body tension. So if this was 0% tension and this is 100% tension, we're looking for about 50% for the purposes of today. Our rest of our body is going to be at about 70%. So you want a nice static platform to move from, nice and stable. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to go more or less head to toe. We'll start with neck CARs. So get tight, make fists with your hands, feel your feet on the ground, your abs are engaged. We're going to go down. Imagine you're scraping your collarbone with your chin, scrape the collarbone until you're looking over your shoulder. Pretend you have water in your ear, you're going to dump that over your shoulder. You're going to rainbow your chin to the ceiling, dumping the water over the other shoulder. You'll look over the shoulder and then scrape the collarbone to come back. Go back that way you just came from, scrape the collarbone, look over the shoulder. Dump the water, rainbow the chin, dumping the water the other way, look over the shoulder, scrape the collarbone. We're going to do 2 on each side. Scrape the collarbone, looking over the shoulder, dump the water, rainbow the chin, dumping the water the other way, look over the shoulder, scrape the collarbone. And back, scrape the collarbone, dump the water, rainbow the chin, look over the shoulder, scrape the collarbone. We're going to move on to our thoracic CARs. Your thoracic spine is the part of your spine that's attached to your rib cage. We're going to put our hands across our shoulders, core is tight. We're going to go forward, rotate to the side, dip backwards, opening the chest to the ceiling. Do a little semicircle until you're dipped the other way. Rotate and then flex. Rotate back the same way, dip back, open up, dipping the other way, rotate and flex. Show you from the side. Flexing forward, rotate, dip back, open up the chest, rotate, dip the other way, rotate, and then flex, rotate, dip, open up, dip the other way, rotate, and flex. Now we're going to do our shoulder blades. This is the part of the shoulder that doesn't move your arm, it instead moves your shoulder up and down. We're going to go, remember, core tight, feel your feet on the ground. We're going to go down, forward, up, back, down, back, up, forward, down, forward, up, back, down, back, up, forward, and down. Next is our shoulder CAR. Your shoulder is one of the most mobile, well, it is the most mobile joint in the body. So it's a little bit complicated, this CAR. All right, so you're going to, remember, feel your feet on the floor, abs are tight. Let's put our hand across our belly just so you can feel if your rib cage is twisting. Energy's coming out your fingertips. We're going to go up and across the body. Bicep by the ear, elbow straight. You're going to rotate back and then keep rotating as you move until you end up with the back of your hand by your hip. You're going to go straight back, rotate open, keep coming up, keep rotating so that by the time you get back to your ear, your hand is facing in. You're going to go across the body, hand facing the ceiling, and then back down, hand by the hip. Up again. Remember to create that internal tension. Don't go through pain. Rotate back. Keep rotating as you go back, kind of like you're doing a backstroke. Back of the hand by the hip. You're going to go back, open up, Keep moving. Bicep by the ear, hand up, and return. Switch sides. Grabbing that rib cage just to feel it move. Hand by your side, energy coming out your fingertips. We're gonna go across, up. Start rotating back. Keep rotating as you go back so that your back of your hand ends up by your hip. You're gonna go straight back, rotate open, keep rotating, and then across the body. Across, up, bicep by the ear, rotate, keep rotating until your hand is by your hip, back, rotate open, up, and across. Good. And we're gonna go for elbow CARs. So again, core is tight, energy coming out the fingertips. You're going to bend, rotate, press, rotate. Remember, create internal tension. Pretend you're pulling and pushing. Don't rotate at the bottom this time. Bend, rotate, straighten, rotate, bend, rotate, straighten. Good. For the wrist CARs, you're gonna grab, I use two fingers, my thumb and my forefinger, on either wrist bone. Now we just did that wrist rotation, so now we're just moving the hand in the wrist joint. So you'll hold on to your wrist, energy coming out your fingertips. You're gonna go up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, pause, in, down, out, up, in, down, out, and up. Let's switch sides using those two fingers, just not to hold the wrist, not to stop it from moving, just to feel if it's moving. So the limiting comes from the actual movement. So if you feel you're twisting, just don't go as far. So elbow is bent, fingers on the wrist. We're gonna go up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, pause, in, down, out, up, in, down, out, and up. Good. After your shoulder joint, your hip joint is the other most mobile joint in the body. You might want to hold on to something, a wall, a broom handle, whatever you have handy. And then remember, we're creating that internal tension. You're going to go across the body. Your foot is going to face the direction you're going. You're going to go up as high as you can. You're going to go out. If you have any pinching, remember, go a little shallower. Go out as far as you can, and then trying not to drop the knee. You're rotating your foot back. You're going to go back with that leg, and then bring your knees together. You're going to go straight back. You're going to go out to the side. You're going to rotate as you come forward, and then go across the body. Okay, we'll do it again. Up and across. Rotating as you move out, getting as far as you can without pain. Rotate the hip, back, and together. Back, up, rotate as you come forward. Push the foot across the body and relax. Other side. You're going to go across the body, up, rotate out, back, and together. As you're going back, make sure you're not leaning forward. Back, out, up, across, and down. Across, out, rotate, back, together, back, out, in, across, and down. We're going to come to the floor, and this is where we get slightly out of place. We're going to start with Segmental Cat-Cow. That's part of your spine, so we might have done it a little earlier before the hips, but everything else we're going to do on the floor, so we'll just do it a little bit out of order. So coming down onto the floor, you're going to get your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. You're going to reach your back to the sky to start. Okay, that's your starting position. Then I want you to feel the muscles in your low back as you pull your tailbone towards the ceiling and push your low back towards the floor. Then you're going to feel those muscles move up the spine into your mid back, pushing your mid back to the floor. And then your upper back, pushing your upper back to the floor and opening up the chest, raise your head. Then you're going to use your ab muscles to tuck the hips under, tucking that tailbone, pushing the low back towards the ceiling. And then feel your abs a little higher, pushing your mid back to the ceiling. And then a little higher, getting your chest involved to push your upper back to the ceiling. Drop your head. Find those low back muscles again. Pull your tailbone towards the ceiling, push your low back to the floor, mid back muscles, upper back muscles, raise the head, and then low abs to tuck the hips. Feel that low back stretching, abs in the middle, pushing the mid back up, upper back, chest, and relax. From here, we're going to move our head first. Raise your head and then feel those upper back muscles turn on. Push into that feeling to move your upper back towards the floor. And then your mid back, just feel the muscles turning on, just going down your spine. And then the low back, and then the tailbone comes up. Then you're going to drop your head, feel that stretch in the upper back, and then push into that stretch from your chest. Use your abs to push your mid back up and your low abs to tuck your hips. Raise your head, feel your upper back muscles turn on, push into that feeling. Upper back, then mid back. Use your focus, use your concentration, then low back. Tailbone comes up last. And then drop your head, feel the stretch, push into that stretch. Chest muscles, upper ab muscles, mid ab muscles, low ab muscles. Excellent. From here, we're going to come to a seated position. I like to have one knee folded to the side and then the other leg straight out. And you're going to just grab your kneecap and we're going to move the kneecap around. So your leg has to be totally straight with your quad relaxed. Okay, if your quad is tight, your kneecap won't move. So you can use two hands and push side to side, forward and back, do circles, or I like to just use my thumb to kind of trace the edges of the kneecap and move it around. So this is really the only one where you're not creating a whole ton of tension. Okay, just move it around in all different directions. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Thigh is relaxed, leg is straight, and we're just gonna move that kneecap around. Might feel weird if you're not used to this. Great. Let's go back to that first leg. And we're going to kind of put our leg into a headlock position. We're not going to pull it up yet. We're just going to sort of grab your hamstring. Flex your foot so your toes are pushing towards your face. And then put your hands on top of your kneecap. You want to move the lower leg in and out. Now, you don't want to move from the ankle, right? The shape of your foot shouldn't change. You're moving from that shin bone. Okay, once you get the hang of that rotation, in and out, you're going to grab on, pull up. You're tightening your abs. We're going to have the foot flexed the whole time. We're going to rotate out, straighten not all the way, rotate in and down, out, up, in and down. Pause, up, out, down, in, out, up, down, and in. And since we're here, we're going to move on to the ankle. Remember, keeping that tension, we're going to go up with that foot. We're going to go out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, pause, in, gonna switch sides. First, we'll practice the internal and external rotation with the foot, not with the foot, with the shin bone. The foot, that would be what the foot looked like. We wanna move that whole shin. Feel that moving. So we're gonna grab a little headlock, keep this foot flexed. You're gonna go out, up, in, down, out, up, in, down. Don't go out, out, down, in, up, out, down, and in. Then we're gonna do the ankle. Biggest circles you can make without pain. You're gonna start up, out, down, in, up, out, down, in. Pause it, up, in, down, out, up, in, down, and out. Great. The last car we're gonna do is toe cars. Now, toe cars might seem irrelevant, but if you're hiking, if you're running, even walking, you need a lot of dorsiflexion in those toes. That's their ability to kind of move away from the sole of the foot, and cars will help you maintain that, or get it if you don't have it right now. So toe cars are funny because if you can do it, it seems like the easiest thing in the world and you don't understand why anyone can't do it. And if you can't do it, you do not understand how anyone can. So we're gonna start by lifting all our toes up and then down. Up and then down. Now leave your 4 toes down and just lift your big toe. Make sure the arches aren't rolling. Now leave your big toes down and lift your other 4. All right, and now the one that I can barely do, we're gonna lift all the toes up and you're gonna try to go pinky toe all the way to the big toe, one at a time. Good. Lift them up. Pinky toe, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and down. And that's your toe cars.